From an early age, we're taught to idolize heroes. The noble, selfless figures putting everything on the line to protect the innocent. Whether it's real-life first responders or fictional TV rangers, these pillars of justice are something we should all aspire towards. But what if the truth was much murkier? What if those choreographed acts of heroism were just the glossy surface covering up something more insidious? That's the compelling premise at the heart of the manga Ranger Reject. In this dark satirical world, a merciless alien force known as the Villainous Army invaded Earth 13 years ago. Just when all seemed lost, the planned salvation arrived in the form of the Dragon Keepers, an elite ranger force with powerful divine weapons capable of defeating the aliens. At least, that's what the general public was led to believe through weekly televised propaganda battles. The harsh reality is that the Dragon Keepers had already crushed the Villainous Army's leadership within a year of the invasion. But rather than admitting victory, they subjugated the remaining foot soldiers, known as Dusters, into endlessly reenacting those fights, all for the sake of fake heroic theater. Forced into embarrassment week after week, one courageous Duster by the name of D has finally had enough of playing the perpetual loser. What follows is D's underdog journey to infiltrate and ultimately take down the corrupt Dragon Keepers regime. It's a quest filled with intrigue, cunning misdirection, and brutal fight scenes that put D's unique abilities to the test. However, the main selling point of Ranger Reject is its deconstruction of the hero trope itself. Unlike other series that portray their heroes as flawless pillars of justice, this manga pulls back the curtains on the Dragon Keeper's dark, gritty underbelly. The very idea of enslaving the defeated Dusters, forcing them into stage humiliation for over a decade just to maintain public facade, is already pretty villainous. But the author doesn't stop there. We witness these so-called heroes lying, manipulating, and even killing to preserve their heroic authority. It's a disturbing yet intriguing twist that shows even the most celebrated heroes can become tyrannical if left unchecked. Where Ranger Reject truly shines, however, is in its cast of morally complex characters. First, there's the anti-hero, Foot Soldier D himself. While his fellow Duster brethren have been stripped of their individuality, reduced to mere cannon fodder, D's daring personality refuses to conform. Sick of the endless cycle of embarrassing defeats, his underdog story sees him infiltrating the corrupt Dragon Keepers in order to dismantle their organization from the inside. But D is no innocent hero. He's very much still a villain, just one whose mischievousness and laid-back personality makes him easy to root for. When D fights, he doesn't pull punches, employing every underhanded tactic from shape-shifting deception to vicious brawling in order to gain an edge. One of my favorite quirks of his is how he so easily dismisses other characters' tragic backstories. The guy will bluntly tell you to shut up or just straight up ignore you because at the end of the day, he just doesn't care. He's not someone trying to be a hero, he's just a villain who sometimes does good things. Another reason why I think D is a great protagonist is because he makes for the perfect lens to experience this morally gray world. His convictions are constantly challenged and reshaped through every encounter he has. But no matter how many times D gets manipulated or taken advantage of, he adapts and evolves. What starts as a simple mission for respect turns into a huge internal conflict where D must balance his constantly evolving beliefs and his strong desire to build the world of his dreams. And if D represents the scrappy heart of the series, then the mysterious Yumiko Tsuzukiri is very much its puzzling brain. On the surface, Yumiko is a high-ranking member of the Dragon Keepers, allegedly a virtuous hero. But her cold, sinister design makes it abundantly clear that there's much more brooding beneath the surface. Yumiko has forged an unlikely alliance with D in order to bring down the Keepers, but her true motivations remain shrouded in mystery. Is she capitalizing on D's rebellion for her own glory, or does she represent a third way between the tyrannical Keepers and power-hungry villains? All we know is that with each revelation about her shadowy backstory, we are left with more questions to unravel. And then finally, rounding out the main trio is Hibiki Sakurama, a former ranger who acts as the story's moral voice of reason. While D embraces his villainous roots, and Yumiko exists in ambiguous shades of grey, Hibiki is the forever optimistic beacon, striving for a world where rangers are actual protectors and where humans can coexist with invaders. But what makes Hibiki so compelling is seeing his righteous principles be gradually chipped away through soul-crushing reality. After encountering D, Hibiki slowly comes to realize that the Keeper's authority that he looked up to is rotten beyond corruption. His journey of leaving that corrupt ideology behind in order to create his own sense of justice is easily the most interesting of the three main characters, at least for me. In addition to the unique personalities, what makes Ranger Reject so engrossing is how each character's differing ideologies create constant dramatic tension. From Hibiki's desire to reform the Rangers to Yumiko's conviction that the system must be torn down, every major player fights tooth and nail to uphold their beliefs in this war-torn world. No one philosophy is painted as simply right or wrong, but rather born from the traumatic invasion's lingering scars on society. This clash of unshakable perspectives results in amazing character development for Foot Soldier D. With every new viewpoint and bitter truth revealed, D constantly finds his motivations and convictions fundamentally challenged. And the last thing I want to highlight about the series are the creative fight scenes. While the Dragon Keeper's flashy divine tools provide plenty of beautiful panels, it's D's own tactical brawling that truly shines. Since the weak yet scrappy Duster must keep his invader regenerative abilities concealed, these fights turn into cat and mouse games of deception and misdirection. He's just as likely to trick his opponents with his shape-shifting ploys as he is to deliver a hand-to-hand beatdown. D's resilience as an underdog and his vulnerability turns every intense fight into a display of raw energy and high stakes. For a fresh take on the classic Sentai theme, filled with moral complexity and intense action, Ranger Reject offers a critical yet entertaining look at the genre. The author's detailed setting and differing characters makes it a captivating story from beginning to end. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!